Hello and welcome to Chinballs Gaming. I am Scorp, and many months ago I upgraded my Steam Deck 64GB eMMC drive to a full 256 SSD drive. And I've been wondering what to do with the leftover 64GB drive for a long time now. And I finally got a spare hard drive enclosure, so I thought, you know what, I'll just have a tiny 64GB hard drive that I can use wherever I want, basically. And previously on another video when I was testing SD cards, I also measured the internal eMMC's cards write speeds, which gave me about a 270 megabytes per second read speed and a 200 megabytes per second write speed, which compared to an SSD isn't great, but it's probably comparable to like a cheap SATA drive, a cheap SATA SSD drive. So not the worst, but not the best. Definitely reusable, at least so I thought. So this is the NVMe to USB enclosure that I've used previously with a Western Digital drive, which has performed pretty well. It's like 900 write, 900 read, so I assumed there would be no problems here. So I was quite surprised to find that the read speed was considerably lower than it was previously. It's now 185 in this external drive, and the write speed is 190, which is higher than the read speed, strangely. So at this point, I wasn't sure if I'd damaged the drive when I took it out of the deck, and I didn't really want to open the deck back up to retest it. So I threw together a spare parts machine which has an NVMe slot, so I tried it in there as well, and basically the results are the same as they are internally in the deck, so something's definitely going on with the enclosure. Handily, I just received a JS dock version 3, the one with the SSD slot in the back, so I decided to perform the same tests in here as well. And amazingly performed even worse with a read speed of 60 megabytes per second and a write speed of 105 megabytes per second, which is very odd indeed. So I do only have these two external NVMe enclosures to test with, so I don't know if this is universally applicable. But it does seem to me that the eMMC drive from in the deck isn't universally compatible with everything. Now, I'm not saying that this is the fault of the drive itself. Now, I'm not a master of NVMe or PCIe technology, but if I were to guess, then I would say that because this drive is B&M keyed, it means it runs on a PCIe ×1 rather than ×4. And I would guess that the enclosures don't implement some of the lower lanes because they don't really need to, so it's like maybe cost saving stuff. So if you are planning on reusing this drive, then maybe it's worth finding out whether it is fully compatible with the thing that you were inserting it in. I was surprised that it isn't. Hopefully someone watching, maybe Christian vielleicht, you can explain to me why this is happening a bit better than I did. And if you are already using this in an external enclosure, please tell me what your results are and see if it's just me and my dock and my enclosure. So anyway, I hope that helped. And again, enjoy your decks. Try and game on it more than I do.